Hi everyone, welcome back. J-WACK here. Got another video for you. Super important episode. We're talking about IP complaints, how to respond to them, how to get them removed, and how to clear up your account, which is super important. Okay, so stick around. We're going to check it out right now. Okay, so first of all, IP complaints. What does it stand for? IP is intellectual property. What does that mean? It means that the person that owns the rights to this particular product has filed a complaint with Amazon against you selling this product. According to them, whoever filed the complaint, they're telling Amazon that you're not authorized to sell this product. Then Amazon, once again, as a seller, you're guilty until proven innocent. You have to prove that you are authorized to sell this product, or get that complaint removed, or answer for that complaint. So, there's more than one type of IP complaint, okay? There's intellectual property, there's trademark, and copyright, okay? And they all have to be answered differently, somewhat, okay? Ultimately, it's kind of all the same, but sometimes a little bit different wording on each one of those so that you can get it cleared up, or at least, you know, get your little blessing from Amazon that you can continue selling your products. The first thing that you get when an IP complaint comes through is an email from Amazon notifying you of the complaint. Save that email, okay? You're going to need it because you need information from that email that is otherwise going to be really, really difficult, if not impossible, to find through your Amazon account. So the biggest thing you need from that notification email is the email of the person that filed the complaint and the trademark ID number. So the next step into getting this complaint removed is to send an email to the people that have filed the complaint, okay? What you want to do is you want to word your email something like, you know, you introduce yourself. Hi, I'm so-and-so. I'm the owner of, you know, XYZ Incorporated or LLC. I'm selling on Amazon. I received an IP complaint from you. You put it right back on them. I received this from you, you know, in regards to this product, blah, blah, blah. And what I do is at the end of the email, I copy and paste the pertinent information at the bottom of the email. So that way, if they agree to remove it, they have all the information they need to go ahead and do that. And that way you don't have to keep going back and forth, because sometimes the more emails you send, the less chances you have of being answered, okay? So you send that email stating, you know, who you are, what the problem is, and you can even say something like, I wasn't aware. You could say Amazon allowed me to sell this product, and I was never informed that, you know, you didn't want me selling your product, blah, blah, blah. I won't sell it anymore, you know, whatever, okay? Then sometimes it'll get removed right away. Sometimes you might get an answer saying, hey, you know, we want some more information. In that case, you know, you can send them a receipt. Say, hey, I got it from, you know, Marshall's or TJ Maxx. Here's the receipt. It's a legitimate product. Because generally what they do is they say it's counterfeit. Because they're like, oh, it didn't come from me, so it must be counterfeit automatically. Which is obviously, again, false. Which is also another thing I put in my emails. If they accuse me of selling a counterfeit product, legally, they can't do that unless they have purchased one of the products from me and had it tested and proven that it's counterfeit. Then they can accuse me of selling counterfeit products, which obviously I don't sell counterfeit products, so I'm never going to worry about that. So it's perfectly okay to correspond with these people and tell them, hey, you know, it's a legit product. This is where I got it from, and that's it. You know, if you guys remember the video I did about the board games that I spent $5,500 on, one of the board games, it wasn't an IP complaint, but I did get contacted by the manufacturer, and they said, hey, where did you get this game from? You know, and I had every reason to believe that the email was legit, right? Yeah, that it wasn't somebody just trying to fish for information. You know, the way and I looked up everything. I did all my research before I just answered this email, but I told them I said, oh, I got it from my distributor. And they said, oh, really? We haven't sold to that distributor in a long time. I said, well, I just got it. So, you're going to have to talk to them. I don't know if they had back stock or what, but that's where I got it from. And they said, okay, thanks. And that was it. So I avoided a potential IP complaint there. Most of the time with these emails, you're not going to get an answer. Okay. And frankly, there is nothing you can do about that. Okay. But document. Just keep your emails that you've sent, and all the dates and times that they were sent and everything. So let's skip that now. Let's say you sent emails, you're not getting any answers, so it's not going to get removed that way. Okay. So the other response, though, that you can get that I've gotten in the past, so I've gotten emails removed by the person who filed it. Okay. I've had those IP complaints removed, which is really good. And believe me, I've talked to several people. Some people never get them removed. Never. I've had a lot of IP complaints removed completely from my account by the person who filed it, just by corresponding with them. Okay. Because I think sometimes they run into a problem where it actually is a counterfeit from China or whatever, and they know they're not going to get an answer. But when someone answers them, they're like, oh, okay, this person's legit. I'll remove it. So, plus, sometimes I throw in some veiled threats there. Sometimes I tell them, oh, I've copied my lawyer on this email, that kind of stuff, because I want them to know I'm serious about having this removed and doing what's right. So the others, sometimes, in at least 3 or 4 occasions, I've received a response saying, we didn't file that complaint. And I send them a copy of it. I said, it shows your email. And I make them tell me a second time, are you 100% sure that you did not file this complaint against me? And they say, yes, we did not file that complaint against you. So I've taken that email correspondence and sent it to Amazon through the appeal process, and Amazon has removed the complaint based on that. So how do I do that? Very tricky, actually. Okay, there's 2 ways. The first way is to respond to the email that's in the email that you received in your warning from Amazon. Okay, the other way, there's a second way. There's a website. I wrote it down so I wouldn't forget. It's USPTO.gov. I think it's like U.S. Patent Trademark Office. I'm guessing. Don't quote me on that. I'm not sure. .gov. Okay. You go to that website and you search for the product that you received your IP complaint on. Okay. And you find it by the trademark number. When you find it, you click on it, and it gives you all the information on the person or people that own this trademark. It'll even have their law office. It'll have all kinds of information. So when you find the contact information, it could be a phone number, it could be an email, whatever the case, you email them directly. Okay, and that email is going, I'm sure of it, is going to be different than the one that filed the complaint. Okay, and then when they say, and I did that once with a product, and they said, at first they said they didn't file the complaint, but they're going to check with their client, because this was through the lawyer's office, and they're going to see if they did. As soon as they said that to me, like the next day the complaint was removed, and I didn't hear anything more from them. So, their lawyers probably told them, hey, you can't be doing that. Okay. The other thing that happened was I contacted someone where the email was different than the email that I received from Amazon. And they said, we never filed that complaint. In fact, we don't even own that trademark. And, I sent that to Amazon. And, Amazon, first of all, changes the rules in the middle of the game all the time. And what works for one IP complaint is not going to work for the other IP complaint. Okay, and that's just something you're going to have to deal with, because I sent in the information, the email correspondence, like I did with the previous one, saying, oh, we didn't file that, and they removed it. I sent this email correspondence where they said, not only do we not file that, that's not even our trademark. Amazon didn't remove the complaint still. Okay, I got the next best thing, which I'm going to go into next, but they didn't remove it completely like they should have. So those are some of the issues that you're going to run into with these. When you send in those email correspondence and whatever you have, you also have to send in the so-called plan of action. I'm not going to tell you how to write a plan of action. They're straightforward for the most part. And if you're not really sure, you know, there's some generic plans of action that you can find online. They're pretty standard. I mean, you know, what you want to send up is you want to send up that you either did or attempted or whatever, tried to contact the rights owner. That's not the first thing you're going to send. The next thing you're going to send is your plan of action. The next thing you're going to send is like maybe a screenshot that you don't have any more of this product in stock, or that you haven't received any complaints regarding this product from anyone, that sort of thing. And you're going to get a response from Amazon. Okay, you're either going to get an email from Amazon stating that the complaint was completely removed from your account, which is super rare, but I've had it happen with my diligence. I've done it several times. Okay, several. The next thing that's going to happen, this is most common, is that they're going to say, oh, we don't have enough information, or you didn't give us the right information, or, you know, we need more information, or whatever. And, you know, those emails sometimes come 10 seconds after you've sent your documents in, and you know damn well no one looked at anything. And they swear up and down, oh, our people looked at it, and they're so full of crap. Keep sending stuff in, make little changes here and there to the wording or whatever, and keep sending it over and over and over. Okay, because then the next thing that you're going to get is an email, and the response, the most common response that you can get, which is a positive response from Amazon, of course after the one where they say we need more information, is that no further action is required from you. This this complaint, or whatever, this IP complaint, is going to be removed from your account after 180 days have passed. Okay, that's probably the best you're going to get, aside from a complete removal, which hardly ever happens, like I said. When Amazon says there's no further action required, that IP complaint no longer counts against you. Okay, Amazon marks it as something you've answered for. You don't have to do anything else, and they, most importantly, are not going to do anything else to you over that complaint. So you really need to get that at minimum, and you need to keep hammering away at these IP complaints until you get that response. Because what can happen is, and I've heard rumors, and it's never happened to me or really anyone I know, just, you know, like online rumors, that if you keep getting these kind of complaints, that Amazon could one day shut down your account and now say, okay, now you got to answer for all the IP complaints you've ever received. And if you've answered for these already, where they say no further action is required, then those won't count against you. And I have confirmed that with Amazon, actually. Recently, on a Sunday, I got a call from Amazon. And at first it was like an out-of-state number, and I get a lot of spam calls like we all do, so I didn't answer it. And then I heard the voicemail saying, oh, this is Amazon. And then I'm thinking, it's a Sunday. I thought it was a scam. And when they called back like 10 minutes later, so I answered it this time, and I still wasn't sure. So the woman on the other line was starting to rattle off my ASINs, and, you know, you have these complaints. And so if you don't answer your complaints, Amazon's going to call you, and they're going to say, why aren't you answering these? Because that's basically what that call was about. And I had two complaints pending that I hadn't answered for yet, and the reason for that was that I was corresponding with one to get one removed, and the other one, I had my invoice, but I didn't have it with me. I didn't have it downloaded yet. So I just told them that, and she was like, okay. And, you know, I still had a complaint pending where it was used, sold as new, which is another type of complaint you can get. And, you know, again, when people return things from Amazon, you know, they get a drop-down menu that says, you know, was it defective? Was it used? Was it missing parts? You know, just didn't like it, whatever. And I swear people think that, you know, if they pick that it was used, that they're guaranteed to get their money back, when they don't realize that, you know what, Amazon's going to give you your money back no matter what. Okay, I've gotten things back. I think 90 days is the cutoff. I've gotten stuff back that was 89 days. So, and I've gotten stuff back, and I've talked about this on my returns video before. I might do another one soon. But I've gotten stuff back where they've taken out the item and put something else in there and gotten reimbursed by Amazon over it. But I don't think they do anything to the customer, you know. So my point is, with that particular complaint with the used sold as new, I told her, I said, well, did it occur to anyone that they're lying? And I told her what I had sent up already. I sent a copy of the receipt with the item sitting right next to the receipt showing that it was new, and they wouldn't accept it. And most of the time, Amazon doesn't even tell you why they've rejected your appeal. They just say, oh, we reject your appeal, figure it out for yourself. So with her on the phone, she told me that they didn't like my invoice. I said, well, I don't have an invoice, I have a receipt. And she was very robotic in her responses. I could tell she was like reading from a script most of the time. But I got a little hint about what I needed to do. So I haven't done it yet, but I got to make some changes. I think my strategy is to circle the item on the receipt, because my receipt had multiple things on it, and maybe they were just like, oh, I don't know what it is, and they just rejected it. So I'm going to circle or highlight the item and send it back up again and see what they say, because I really want that one removed. And they haven't stopped me from selling the product. I've still sold the product. So in regards to that one, again, I've sent them my, they want me to admit that I sold something used, and there's no way I'll let that complaint sit there for the rest of my life before I admit that I sold something used when I didn't. So, and I've seen how Amazon ships stuff too, so very likely that that packaging was smashed. But anyway, I sent up, what's that section on, I'm going to have to look it up real quick. There's a section on your Amazon app, Voice of the Customer, that's what it is. So under Voice of the Customer and under Very Poor, that product isn't listed, okay? So that particular product isn't there. So I made a screenshot of that saying, there's no complaints about this product. And then I sent another screenshot that there's no returns on this product. And then I sent, again, the receipt and my plan of action and, all that other stuff. So I'm going to keep sending that in, and like I said, I'm going to make some changes and send it again, and hopefully I can get that removed. But the other thing, let's see what else do we have here about the IP complaints, because I don't want to get off track too much. I confirmed with Amazon that when they say that these complaints, they still come off your account after 180 days, even if you don't do anything, okay? And, that's totally fine, but I try to keep my account very clean. I don't like these complaints sitting there. And I actually spoke to an attorney, okay? And I told him they specialize in Amazon, IP complaints and stuff. I got some guidance from them. But, I had right now I have 7 IP complaints. Only one has still not been answered for, as in regards to Amazon accepting what I've sent. The other 6 all say no further action required, so I'm not even worried about those. There's one left that needs a response, an additional response. And, I was telling the lawyer about this, and he said, hey, listen, at the end of the day, yes, you should answer, you need to answer for these, but he's like, I have a client that has 300 plus IP complaints on his account, and his account is still active. Has anyone been suspended or shut down or anything? So here's me losing sleep over, literally losing sleep over one IP complaint that's still pending, and this guy's got 300 that need to be answered for. So I can't even imagine. I just can't. I'm getting anxious just thinking about someone else having 300 IP complaints. It's crazy. So I'm going to recap real fast. So number 1, save the email that you get with the information on the person who filed the complaint and the trademark. Contact that email. Look up the trademark on the, I'll say it again, USPTO.gov website. Find that contact information and contact them. Send all your correspondence to Amazon in your appeal with your plan of action and your photos and whatever other documentation you have. If you get rejected, keep sending it, keep making little changes, don't give up on it. If you receive a no further action required, it's basically a win. Okay, so you won that one. All right. So, and don't forget that there's trademark, copyright, and intellectual property complaints that you could receive. You'll get a copyright violation complaint from a company that, if you have a distributor right now, there's some products where it says right at the bottom of the product, no Amazon sales permitted, or no Amazon or eBay sales permitted. The biggest pain in the ass company is Paladone. They are ridiculous. They fought their Velociraptor IP complaints, bam, 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 you know, and they don't care. That's a copyright. You can get those removed, hopefully, generally. You know, if you just contact them and say, hey, listen, I didn't know, I didn't buy it from the distributor, you know, whatever. You know, they're ignorant, but I've had them removed. There's another one, a game, it was a board game that was very recently on clearance at Walmart called Can't Catch Harry. Instant IP complaint, okay? For the same reason, they don't allow Amazon sales. Well, that doesn't mean I violated your copyrights or your trademarks or any of that, you know, so, you know, and you just have to be like, oh, okay, I'll stop selling it if you remove the complaint, and then they remove it, you know. And you got to stick true to your word, because if you try to keep selling it, then, you know, karma, okay, just that's all I'm going to say. So, you know, you have to answer for all these, because, you know, they could come back to bite you like a year later, seriously. So don't let that stuff sit there. Don't think they're not a big deal. I mean, because on one hand, they're really not. But on the other hand, it's like if you let it build up and build up, it's going to create, you know, it's going to create eyes on your account now. You know, oh, this guy's getting all these IP complaints and he's not doing anything about them. It'll prompt a call from Amazon too, for sure. If you haven't gotten one already. I was nervous. I even asked her, I said, am I like on the verge of being suspended right now? I mean, is that why you're calling me? And she's like, no. And that's how I confirmed about the complaints where it says no further action is required. I asked her specifically, even though I had already heard it from the attorney, I wanted to hear it from Amazon, and she said yes. If it says no further action is required, those complaints are not being held against you. So I was like, okay, good. So, because like I said, Amazon changes the rules in the middle of the game all the time, so you don't know, you know. So I'm trying to think in my head, like, because I want to give you guys like a list of places where you get IP complaints from, and I've said this one multiple times on other videos. I'm going to say it now because it's more pertinent for this video. If you scan a product and there's one seller, okay, and you see that that seller has the name of the product or something close to it, don't sell that product, because it's their product. That's why they're the only seller, and they're the only seller because they instantaneously file an IP complaint on anyone else who sells that product, okay? So don't sell those products. Some of the other ones that I've gotten are from, like I said, Paladone, and the people who make those Can't Catch Harry products. I don't know what I thought I had one nearby. Stand by. Alright, so here's the Can't Catch Harry game that I was telling you about, and the place is called Breaking Games. So if you have anything from that company, you don't want to sell it, because you'll get an instant IP complaint. Oh, here's another one. I got an IP complaint on this too, right here. They're just coming back to me right now. So, and I thought this thing was 100% legit because it has a US barcode on it for starters. And when I scanned it, I don't remember now, but let me see. See, it's not even on Amazon anymore. Maybe I can search it by name. Grill Art Grill Basket. Okay, it's here. See, now it says I'm super ultra mega restricted on it. Okay. See it right there? But, I mean, there's 3 sellers. And only two are Grill Art. So 2 are Grill Art. One is Grill Art US and one's probably Grill Art China or something. I don't know. But I mean, they were a good profit too, because I had only gotten them for $7. I bought like 20 of them. Look at that, $6 profit on each one I would have had. And instantly they came back, and now of course it says I'm restricted. So and I found out, and it seems like a very American, I mean, there's nothing red flag on here telling me that this is import, like not import, but like a product that's coming direct from China. I mean, like I said, it's got that US barcode on it. It says Grill Art, Grill Basket. There were 3 sellers. I thought I was golden. And instant IP complaint, instant counterfeit complaint, you know. And when and then I find out that it is from China when I look up the trademark online. And, you know, I tried to contact them and there was no answer. So I ended up getting the no further action required, which is fine. But now they're all coming back to me. So, you know, so that's just, you know, the stuff you got to look out for. You know, you want to make sure so I think the best advice is not only, you know, if the manufacturer is also the seller, then you might just want to skip it no matter how many sellers there are, because the last thing you want is, you know, 30 of these things sitting at Amazon waiting for an IP complaint to get resolved, and then they all come back to you in 50 different boxes because Amazon's already sent them to all the other warehouses and stuff, you know. So just make sure that you do your diligence to try to limit what your IP complaints are going to be like, you know. So I think that's all I have. If you guys have any questions, I mean, feel free to put them in the comments. I'll answer them for you. And otherwise, make sure you like and subscribe. I hope you liked this video. I hope it was informative for you, because I know that, you know, I lose sleep over these complaints sometimes. Every time I see an email in my inbox from Amazon, I'm like, oh God, what does it say now? You know, so you have to stay on your toes with Amazon. But make sure you like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.